Alright, what's good everybody? Chris here, Couriers Goes Outdoors. Wanted to go over the gear I've had on the Appalachian Trail so far. I am about 17 miles just south of the quarter waypoint. I've been posted up in a motel for days now. I'm just dealing with a little medical thing that has since gotten much better. So I should be back out on the trail tomorrow, but go over the gear. Right there, still got my food bag. Fully loaded, just resupplied, got enough in there for a minimum of 5 days. These right here are different from what I started with. If you watched my hiking videos, I may have destroyed one of my trekking poles. In a fit of rage, had to replace them. I went with a pair of Lecky Journey trekking poles. They were just available at the time, but they have been going really good. They are aluminum, the little flick lock here, but work really well. Keep my money, credit card, in my little Z-Pak's wallet right there. I have two little mini stuff sacks right there. One for rock throwing, the other is just for some smaller stuff. Rock throwing with a bear bag, of course, not throwing at people. Hand sanitizer, that right there is just a wipe for my camera, a camera lens. Still got this, it's a little micro knife. I've used it to cut a couple small things, as well as cheese. That's about it. You don't really need much out here. Still rocking the Z-Pak's Solplex. It's been working great for me. I've had it out in every sort of weather condition you can really imagine. High winds, tons of rain, a little bit of snow, and it's worked well in all. I did have one issue once with a little water coming in a very, very, very heavy rain, but it wasn't coming in from the top. It was splashing up from a portion on the ground and coming up, but just maneuvered some things and still worked great. So definitely like it. Over here, got the Z seat, it's working great. Use it when I'm posted up in camp and such. Filtration, I have two smart water bottles, 1 liter each. Sawyer squeeze right there. That's a little cup to pour water in when the source isn't that great. I did just break my bag. Happens to everyone it seems. So I'm on the lookout for a new one. We'll see what happens. Right there. Got some sunscreen. It's been pretty bright out, pretty sunny out, occasionally anyway. So that's always helpful for my pasty self. Right here, we have the Z-Pak's Bear line. It's perfect. Wouldn't change it, don't need to change it. Right there. This is new. I've been using mostly the smaller fuels, but I typically end up with one that's almost empty and I don't want to get rid of it. So I just went with the slightly bigger one this time. So I think it's 220 grams instead of 110 or something like that. I don't really know, but slightly bigger. Got my Togs 550 pot and lid, as well as my Togs long handle titanium spoon. Both have worked great so far. No complaints on either of them. Right here, we have this guy. And this is the Therm-A-Rest Neoair X-Lite. It's worked great. I did mention the noise initially, but it's been rocking. It's been doing real good. The noise has gone down significantly to the point there really isn't much. It's not much different from any other pad, so really, really like this. Enlightened equipment, 20 degree quilt, Revelation. So I got mine extra long, extra wide. Pulls up over my head, helped greatly when it got really, really cold and snowy on a couple days. I do still have my luxury item right there, my iPad to edit these videos on, not going home. Right here, toiletries, toilet paper, that's my repair kit in the blue, toothpaste, toothbrush, a little stick of deodorant, guess that's a luxury too. Also got this guy still, right here, it's the Z-Pak's Arcall. It's been working great for me, no complaints whatsoever. Exactly how it was when I brought it out. Still have the trash bag liner, that's working pretty good. Right there in the gray is my electronics bag. I did send home a bunch of stuff out of that, mostly all the GoPro stuff. I'll open that up in just a second for you. So this right here is essentially the contents of my electronics bag now. Have the Anker battery I started with, 13,000 milliamp hours, works fine. Headphones are still here. Double USB sticks so I can transfer files from my SD cards, mini SD cards onto there, ship these home. Double charger for Sony camera battery. I'm using the Sony RX100 Mark III still. I have 2 extra batteries, one in the camera as it's recording right now. Phone charger right here, or double USB charger I guess you'd call it. Micro USB cable. I also have a lightning cable, but it's being used right now. Black Diamond Revolt headlamp. Still working great. Haven't really used it too much. Only one real day of night hiking, or night of night hiking. And then this little lightning to USB adapter, which I use to transfer the files to my iPad. All right, now on to clothing. So down here, we'll start. I have 2 pairs of short shorts, 7-inch inseam. They have the brief lining, works pretty well. I like them. Got 2 little athletic sleeveless type shirts, both in gray, whatever, does their thing. Right there, I have the Melanzana micro grid fleece hoodie. Love that thing, great base layer. It's hooded, has a little pouch right in the stomach area so you can put both your hands in. It's also got like a balaclava style thing on the neck, so highly recommended. Right here, I have a new pair of shoes. These are Adidas Rockadias, I think. So I just picked these up. Was using Saucony Exodus 6.0s. They died, just, you know, ran out of life. Picked up Obas, whatever those are. Thought they'd be okay. They're not. I don't particularly care for them for the trail, so hopefully these I'll have a better experience with. If not, getting a pair of Saucony Exodus 6.0 shipped to a hostel somewhere. So got a little pair of ex officio boxers still, usually to sleep in. Got these as well to sleep in if it's cold. Patagonia Capilene thermal weight leggings. These are size XL, and they were big for me before I started, and now they're essentially falling off. So, but they keep me warm, whatever. I've had both of these since the start. I've had that since the start. Have had 1 pair of shorts since the start, but I went with 2, sent the pants home for now. Socks right here, I've had all 3 of these since the beginning. So I typically will hike in one, sleep in one, have 1 extra just in case. I used one for gloves for a couple days once, so it's always nice to have extra. Right here, buffs. They keep the sweat out of my eyes. As a bald man, it also covers my head from the sun, which is great. Right here, handkerchief. Always comes in useful for something. Right here is what I keep all my clothing in. This is just a Z-Pak's, the dry sack. This is the pillow dry sack, so it has a fleece lining on the inside. You can use it as a pillow. Use it every night. It's great. So right here is my hidden gem, one of my favorite pieces of gear on the trail so far. This is a Z-Pak's Cuben fiber rain kilt, or my skirt as I call it. It's great for rain, great for wind, and it also, I have used this, you can fully undo it. I've used it as a floor outside of my tent to put stuff on. I've also wrapped my pack in it when I keep it outside of my tent on rainy nights to keep the water off of it. So great little multi-purpose piece of gear right here. Z-Pak's Cuben fiber pack cover right here. A lot of electronics, a lot of stuff I don't want getting wet, so I go pretty heavy with the rain protection, but for the weight, whatever, it's negligible. I'll bring it, and I do love it, use it all the time. Right there is the Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer hooded. I do still use this. That is probably not going to go home at any point. It's a great piece just to get warm, so it's been good staying with me. Right here, something I'm not too fond of, that is the Outdoor Research Helium 2 jacket. For me, I sweat a lot. If I'm not wet from the rain, I'm soaked in sweat. So this thing is only really used in high wind situations at this point. It's the only reason it's still with me. It's saved me a couple times on a mountain where it was extremely windy and rainy, and worked slightly better than this. One of the newest additions to my gear is a Frog Togs Dry Ducks poncho. I love this thing. Keeps the rain out, but still allows you to stay pretty ventilated. So, great piece of gear. Highly recommend it. So, yeah, I dig it. The only time I didn't particularly care for this was on top of a bald in North Carolina, 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts. The snaps on the side kind of blew off a little, so I just changed over to the Outdoor Research for the time being. I've used this for every other rain thing since I purchased it, and would use it over that, besides in high winds, like really high winds. So yeah, it's been good so far. Alright, and that's going to do it for this video, everybody. I'm hoping to be back on the trail tomorrow. It's looking good so far. Medical situation seems to have cleared itself, but I've been off trail for like 5 days now. Six days. And I figured I'd make this video while I was here, so why not keep my mind sane? You start thinking about all this crazy stuff when you're sitting here doing nothing. So, should be back out on the trail, hopefully catch up to my tramley, and if not, make a new one. But it'll be sad if I don't, because they were all pretty cool. Anyways, thanks for checking out the video. You can check out the through hike vlogs I've been posting along the way. Been putting a lot of work into them. They take a lot of time, so if you enjoy, that's awesome. Enjoy, like, comment, subscribe, appreciate it. We'll catch you in the next one. Hopefully 99% positive back on trail. So take care, guys and gals, and anybody in between.